Hey everybody, welcome back. Good to be back. Welcome back, crew. So there's one thing that I really want to talk about. Everybody's getting ready for, and that is Nvidia's earnings. The whole market is waiting. We're waiting for that bell at around 4, 5 p.m. And it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It could be the shoe that breaks the AI, boom, turns it into a bust, or it could be a catalyst for the next leg up, run up. And that catalyst could run on for the next year or two. That some of the analysts on the bull case, they're saying that. And there's been so much talk of this bubble, it kind of makes me think, like, is there really a bubble? If there's so much talk about an AI bubble, is there truly a bubble? Usually when there's a bubble, like in 2000, if you're around for that, there was so much, you know, height, sensation, just authorium. Oh, I can't even think of the word, but there was so much, hype in the market at that time that was just like it's never gonna end. It's gonna just keep going up forever. And I think that's what the this time the market's not really showing that. There's all this worry like that's just gonna the AI bubble's gonna pop if Nvidia doesn't turn out great numbers and all that, and all the rest of the cards are gonna fall. But I don't think that's really the case. I think maybe the next couple of years you'll see that where it's gonna be this market's never gonna stop going up, and I think that's gonna then that possibly would happen. But right now, I think it's just let's see what happens after 5 p.m. with Nvidia's earnings. I'm not a great. I've played it earnings before, but I'm really not messing around this time around. I don't think that's the wise choice, but I think it's just the overall. I want to see what happens after the market in the next couple of days, because it's been a bad couple of days running up to even since right after the Palantir's earnings. It's been they had such a great quarter and everything like that, but Michael Burry, his his notion that the market, it's due for a correction. Basically, a lot had to do with if you look at he closed his fund, but that was we didn't know about it until like a month later. It's just weird how that works. And then, but a lot of it had to do with like kind of with the chips depreciation. His theory, that's the case, and I don't really. He closed the account his fund because he was losing so much, but maybe his thesis comes into play down the road. I think he was early. He's been wrong a lot of the times up, after the 2008, he's been wrong. So, well, maybe he was just 2 years early, but we'll see what happens down the road. But I think it's just I'm not getting shaken out of any position just based on all the fear and everything else that's going on at the market. That's everybody's just trying to put that out there. That's the worst time to do it, selling out, and when the fear and greed is all the way to fair as much as you can go. But you got to listen to yourself. I've made mistakes like that where you listen to somebody and then you got to see what they're doing, and you just block all that out and just take their advice and just do the slow, steady, snail wins the race kind of deal. You can't just take it on a whim and do irrational things. When most people make the most money, they make the most is when they're just forgetting about it. Just don't look at your account and just ride things out and just course, position yourself. Which those type of crashes, they happen like 2008. I mean, 2000, 2001 kind of, and then 2008. I guess we're due for one, but I think it's I think there has to be more, like, this can never end kind of deal, and I don't see that happen yet. Everybody's talk about it. Usually, it's the time when it's, head fake you and then keep going up. They all those one percenters, elites, kind of they just want you to cash out of your position so they can get in a position that's cheaper for them. That's kind of how that works. That's how I see it. So you got to just people that are in it for the long term, like people that Tesla, Nvidia, those really made generational wealth, and then those that just panic out of things and just that's my take. Plus, you got to be in the right time, right place kind of deal. And but let's see what happens. They are like a $5 trillion company. They can't, if they have any little hiccup here, it's gonna be bad news for Nvidia and the whole markets. But they're just printing money, but them and a handful of others, but there's other AI companies that aren't even making any money. Um, that's kind of a red flag there. Peter Thiel is selling out of a lot of his, well, most of his, I think all of his Nvidia, and then like 75% of Tesla he got out of. So, but then again, he was kind of wrong in other areas, like with Facebook, Meta back in 2012, I think it was, and he sold out there, so he missed out a lot of that. But I think he moved it more into Palantir focus there, which I don't think he really lost uh, doing that. But I think a lot of these guys are just kind of positioning themselves for the inevitable crash if it ever happens. So you gotta position yourself in the right way, and you gotta look at it that way. You gotta think of it a few years down the road, but I don't know if it's now it's gonna happen. It's just the whole talk about bubble makes me think there is no bubble right now. So that's just my take there. And it's just my opinion here, not a advisor or anything like that. Just my take on the video and the whole markets itself. Let's see what happens. I want to see things go up. Of course, I don't play option or anything like that. Since I'm a Nvidia holder, I would want it to go up. But I want things for the long term. But let's see if these analysts are right about the next 2 years of the markets continuing to go higher and this bull cycle continues. And then eventually something I think will happen in the next year or two, but I don't think right now it's gonna, if that's happening or not, I don't really think so. But hope you like this video. I'm trying to get message out there. If you like it, hit like, thumbs up, subscribe. And yeah, right now the video is trading at like a 184. It's up, like a percentage today, percentage or two, like $3 right now. And I know that Palantir is down. I know my Google is up after Buffett's news there, but his rare jump into tech stocks, he usually buys what he understands. So, but I think Google's is kind of positioned itself like in AI and non AI kind of. So I think they're positioned the best for whatever happens. If AI takes off or it doesn't, but AI is here to stay. So what am I talking about? Or just talking about the market in general, though. if any bubble happens. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and let's all get glued to the screens around 5 or listen to that call. You know, between 4 and 5, whenever it happens. They usually have those calls around 5:30. I like to listen in. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.